What is going on YouTube? Just a quick video, just quickly going over the UFC Baku card. Obviously it's Fiziev versus Torres, and so just gonna quickly go through it. I know there's a ton of fights. This is actually a pretty good card for the non-casual fans like you guys who are watching my channel. But I'll just quickly go through it because some of these fights I don't care too much about. Obviously, they're going to be good fights. I'm going to watch them, but I just don't really care about who wins or who loses. Just be obviously watching the fights. The first fight that I'm really kind of interested in, honestly, Julian Walker versus Yamakov, because I think it's going to be a closer fight than most people think. I know Julian Walker isn't really that good, but in terms of like his UFC career, but I think he's still him at plus 450 is kind of crazy in my opinion. That would be something interesting to throw a little bit of coin on. Eric Nolan versus Hazabov. This one, I think there was some controversy. I think Eric Nolan had a short camp, and so I think that could play some effect into this. Obviously, the travel is pretty big too, but not really anything there that I care too much about. Like I said, but the main card is what I'm really interested in. Magomed versus Ankalaev versus Michelle Oyajacek. I think this is going to be a crazy fight. Magomedov is a really good striker, also has really good grappling, and then obviously Mikhail is a UFC vet, has been around for a while. At plus 300, I might throw a little bit of coin on that, but I think Magomedov is going to get a finish here. Either any way he really wants to, either he submits him or beats him on the feet. I think that's going to be a really interesting fight. I'm kind of excited to watch it. And so moving on to the next fight, Alizekrov, I think is how you pronounce it, versus Bruno Ferreira. I think this is going to be, I remember Alizekrov fought against Whitaker. That was a while ago. He had a couple more fights in between or after that, and he's on a 2-fight winning streak, I believe. And then Bruno Ferreira is obviously another UFC vet who has been kind of he's always been an underdog, I believe. And so I think it's kind of interesting to see the odds on this one, because he's a huge underdog, plus 240. I think that's crazy. Obviously he's good. Alizekrov is good. He lost to Whitaker really quickly, but Whitaker's arguably up there for middleweight GOAT status, and so I think this is going to be a really interesting fight for plus 240. I gotta throw some coin on Bruno Ferreira, he's someone that I think can stop the fight at any point. He has one shot knockout power, and so if Alizekrov doesn't really respect that, I think he will. But if he doesn't at any point in the fight, I think Bruno Ferreira can get him out. And so at plus 240, I gotta throw some coin on Bruno Ferreira. Charles Johnson versus Azu. I'll just say Azu just because I'm gonna butcher his last name. And so this one is another interesting fight. Charles Johnson obviously has a win over the champion Joshua Van, and that's what everyone is talking about, that he has a win over the champion. I think Charles Johnson has really good boxing. He's obviously he has kind of a karate stance, and I think he's super good, super talented. Obviously he's older, but dude, at plus 210, I can't again, he's an underdog. I can't you want to throw if I'm trying to make money, if my goal is to make money, I have to throw these guys into just single legs, right? Where if any of them hit, it's a nice paycheck, it makes up for all of the losses. And so I'm going to throw money on Charles Johnson. I think Azu is super good, super talented, but you can't count Charles Johnson out at any point, at any fight. He's obviously the longer fighter here. With the karate stance, I think it's going to be hard for Azu. He's going to be shooting from a long way, but I don't think. I mean, he's gonna get him down eventually. It's just what happens when he gets him down. And so, yeah, like I said, I think I'm still gonna throw money on Charles Johnson because I think he can finish the fight at any point. It's just kind of if he's gonna be able to stuff a lot of these takedowns and keep that cardio up, which he can, right? He's been in some wars, he's been in some long fights, and so I think he definitely can keep that cardio. He will have that cardio for the later rounds, and so I think he gets a stoppage here in like maybe the second, early in the second, maybe a little towards the middle of the second, I'll say. I think he gets a stoppage, just a clean right hand over the top, and just kind of catches him. Maybe even a high kick. But I'm gonna throw some coin on Charles Johnson. A lot of these underdogs, like you'll notice that I'm throwing a lot of money on these underdogs, and that's because, or some money on these underdogs, and that's because it's kind of crazy for me. It's crazy not to throw money on these underdogs because they can easily stop these fights. And so, yeah, going on to the next fight. Sadikov versus Camelo. Camelo is a Brazilian, really good boxing. Kind of, he has his last win. I don't believe it was a stoppage. I don't remember his last win, but I do remember Sadikov. He got knocked out, and so I think, but he is in like his home territory. I think. I was just watching the weigh-ins right before this, the ceremonial weigh-ins, and I think Camelo's huge. He looks big for lightweight, but Sadikov's not a small lightweight. I think he fits well into the division, but Camelo's kind of big, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna throw some coin on Camelo again. Underdog plus 170. I think it's gonna be an upset here for Camelo just because I mean I personally like him a lot. I think he has really good boxing. I think he has really good footwork. And so yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens. And so yeah, I think he gets down on the ground pretty early. I said boxing, I meant ground and pound. Yeah, I think he gets him down to the ground early, and then just kind of starts wailing on him with his ground and pound because I think he's really good. He's really good at getting people down and then just kind of holding them down. And so I think he will do that as much as possible and get this upset. Moving on to the co-main event, Shara Bullet versus Miguel Pereira. I mean, Miguel Pereira is a vet, UFC vet. Shara Bullet obviously hasn't had that many fights because he can't really fight in the U.S. Because he only has one eye. But I mean, this one, I don't even think it's. I think it's personally, I think it's kind of. It's not crazy to throw money on Miguel Pereira because he's kind of like flashy. He's a fan. I think he's a fan favorite just because of how flashy he is, and he kind of just gets the people going. But lately, his fights have been kind of not. He hasn't been willing to throw as much as he has previously, and so I think it's going to be Shara Bullet's game, right? Where he's just kind of, he doesn't have the wrestling for Shara Bullet, that's for sure. And I don't think he has the striking for Shara Bullet either. And so he's a big dude, but Shara Bullet matches him everywhere, you know? The only difference I see here is leg reach. And I mean, that goes to show that Shara Bullet is just as big. And so, yeah, I think, I don't remember the weigh-ins. I should have looked right before it. But I think size plays a huge factor as we get into these heavier weights. You know, middleweight isn't that heavy. There's still light heavyweight and heavyweight. But I think still, like, you're a big middleweight. Like, yeah, I think it's a huge advantage for other middleweights. And so these two are both big. I think it's going to be on the feet. It's going to stay on the feet. The fight's going to stay on the feet, and Shara Bullet's going to win the fight there. I think it's stoppage by Shara Bullet. Either I think he catches him and then just kind of finishes it with the ground pound. He's not going to get like completely KO'd, but it'll be a stoppage from the referee. Going on to the main event. Fiziev versus Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres is a dog, but so is Fiziev, and this is Fiziev's hometown or home country, and so I don't know. I look back at Fiziv's wins and losses and Manuel Torres' wins and losses because he has lost to Bahamundes, which Fiziv did beat. I think that was Manuel Torres' last loss. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Fiziv is still nasty. His last fight was against the Brazilian that just won in the White House card. Shoot, I'm forgetting his name. Nasty was at the Fighting Nerds, left the Fighting Nerds. He's super nasty, super nasty. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, Fiziv was doing good that whole fight, and then ended up just getting caught and getting knocked out. But I mean, that's what happens with him because he's just so. He's such a talented striker. He hits heavy, and Fiziv isn't bad, right? He just got caught and couldn't recover fast enough, and that's what happens, right? He gets caught, you lose a fight. But yeah, Fiziv is big for that division. But I'm not Fiziv, sorry. Manuel Torres is big for that division. I think he's a big lightweight. Obviously cutting down to make lightweight, but I think it's going to be kind of a MMA math here, right? So Manuel Torres lost to Bahamundes, Fiziv beat Bahamundes, Manuel Torres beats Fiziv, MMA math. Kind of similar to Topuria beating everyone that Gaethje has lost to, and then loses to Gaethje. You know, similar to that. It's just MMA math. And so I think that's what's going to happen here. Manuel Torres is going to finish Fiziv. He's going to move up the rankings. He's going to continue his winning streak, and I think that's how the UFC card ends. So it's a pick'em. I'm throwing money on Manuel Torres either by knockout or decision. And so there's my picks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and then yeah, just let me know all your overall thoughts on this card. I think it's a sleeper card. And then the next card obviously is going to be Conor versus Max Holloway, the return of Conor McGregor. I think it's going to be awesome. And so let me know what you guys think about that card as well. And then if you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll throw out some more content just because it encourages me to throw out more content. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Peace.